I got the opportunity of leaving from China and going to South Korea for a week. And so I can't believe it. I'm in Seoul. Quite bad. One that can only be described as the adventure of a lifetime, as this is quite possibly the last trip I'll have for a while. Of course, it came with its challenges, as the hostel that I booked, I had some issues there and I thought I'd have to sleep outside, but luckily I found somewhere else that was quite as lovely and I could stay for the night until I could find other accommodations. Saturday was my first official day there in Seoul, and I thought it was absolutely necessary to go to church because it's the must go to when in a different country, and it's always important to worship God, of course. The service was absolutely lovely and the food they offered was really nice, and my first official Korean meal, which was interesting, I think. I met some really lovely people who I'll probably never meet again, but I'm so happy our paths aligned. I luckily found a beautiful hostel that was in the heart of the city and really close to everything, and I was really grateful for that because that's all I really asked for. Saturday evening I went to the Starfield library, and believe me guys, it's just like what we've seen on Instagram and where the books are actually real, and there was so much to see. On Sunday morning, I became a Korean, I guess. I actually tried their Korean traditional wear, and it was a fun experience, you know, trying something that was different and out of my comfort zone. That was something nice to try, I guess. Did it feel awkward being the only black guy walking through Seoul in the traditional wear? Of course it did, 100%, but I pushed through because I paid for it and I was going to experience everything that was there. The palaces there really remind me of back in China, you know, of a time that was so long ago, but the people still hold on so strongly to that history and they preserve it and they want the world to know about it. Then of course I went to the very famous neighborhood that lived up and surpassed my expectations. Though it was a bit crowded, but it was really quite beautiful, and it's really nice to see how the Koreans live today. And of course, you know, it's mandatory that we take some time to enjoy the local delicacies. Despite it being crowded and everyone watching me, I still took time to enjoy, and it was definitely worth it. It was very delicious. Then after changing, I went to the Seoul building that has a wonderful free observatory on the weekend, and went up and I could view the palace that was right across the road, and it was really quite stunning. A must-visit place here in Seoul that has some of the most authentic foods. Kwangjang market! Yep, later that night I was hungry again, so I decided to go to this very famous market. It even has some famous Netflix shows there, and it is filled with this aroma of delicious food that actually tastes delicious. I just got the things I ordered. The next day I got up very early and I was on one of the first trains out of Seoul going to Busan because I wanted to experience another part of South Korea and to really soak in the vibe that's there and the culture and just seeing as much as I could in 1 week. Based on recommendations that I saw on the internet, I decided to take the slow train because not only is it cheaper, but you also get a beautiful view of the countryside, which was really wonderful. So I'm in Busan, Korea. I don't know what's here, but I've seen a couple videos. Let's see what Busan has to offer. And and it really had something to offer. It has what has been described as the Portugal of South Korea, filled with so many beautiful buildings and colors and styles that are so different than you'd expect. It was really something to see. Do we have to buy something? So beautiful. Then, being the extrovert I am, I made a friend with someone I just met while I was touring, and we did a whole video on the different foods they have in Busan.
So it's like the same as China.
Yeah. Then one of the more exciting parts of going to Busan at the time I did was the fact that it was so much warmer than it was in Seoul, and I could walk down to the beach and just enjoy this wonderful view there. For the last couple of hours I had left, I went to this wonderful village that's there in Busan, and I could see the entirety of the city and just chill for a sec and just breathe in. That very night I was back in Seoul, and I had as much Korean chicken as I could possibly have, because when you're in Korea you have to have Korean chicken. It's mandatory. The next day I was off to the DMZ. This is where the border is between South and North Korea, which was a thrilling experience and one that I was really looking forward to, because it was so cool to know I was this close to North Korea. I don't think I would ever go there, but this was the perfect chance to, you know, experience that. So that was really cool, and I was happy that I could go meet good people, because I eventually made friends, and, you know, just understand the history behind the division between North and South Korea. After the DMZ tour, I hung out with the friends that I made there, and we went to this famous Michelin restaurant which had very delicious food. Then my new friend Tina convinced us to go to a cat cafe where we could play with cats for the evening. It was a bit different, but I enjoyed. The very next morning I got up very early in the morning, checked out, and I was off to my final location, which is the very famous Buckchon mountain, which is a must see, and it's so beautiful. And it was just so fitting that we went on one of the heaviest snow days recorded in over 10 years in Seoul, because it made the mountain even more beautiful. Wow, that's Seoul, guys. Beautiful Seoul.
It's in like steep uphill.
I will say for a moment I was almost in tears, because I got the chance to do something that was only a dream long ago. I said goodbye to my friends, and then later that night grabbed the subway, went to the airport, and I was back on my flight to China. I can't wait to see what happens next, so come along, guys.